What's up? Welcome to your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Friday, November 24th, 2023. What's that weird voice? It's annoying. Anyway, we're loaded up, geared up. Got my Spielman jersey on here. Getting loaded up. Less than 24 hours. This time tomorrow, we should be happy Buckeye fans, I would think, right? I would think so. Let's share something with the people here. Get this thing kicked off right. We might have Jeff stopping by. You're more than welcome to pop in, call in. All the info is below in the description. So call in, and you're also welcome to join the chat. Hit me with your questions, comments, score predictions. Got one more t-shirt to give away at least. So nail the score prediction this week. So let me share this with you.
Oh, it's going down. The OSU marching band riding with us again. Hooray! Ohio State, Buckeyes, Michigan. Who? Give a damn for the whole state of Michigan. The whole state of Michigan. The whole state of Michigan. We don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan. We're from Ohio. Michigan. Who? Give a damn for the whole state of Michigan. The whole state of Michigan. The whole state of Michigan. We don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan. We're from Ohio.
All right. That'll get you warmed up. Hopefully that came through all right for you guys. All right. Really, I want you guys to kind of take over the show and let me know what direction you want to go. I've got stuff we can talk about, really, we've done all the breakdowns, all the position breakdowns. I just want to get your final thoughts for the game, how you think it goes. If you want to go first half, second half, or positional offense versus defense, Buckeye offense versus Michigan defense, you can go there. But first off, you might see this thing flying out over my shoulder about the squares pool for the game. $10 per square. Each square gets 2 numbers, so you can double your winning here. You double your chances to win anyways, because there's only 25 squares on this board. It's not the big monster 100 square board. This is just small 25 squares. We pay out all 4 quarters and the final. $50 each is the max we're paying out. It really depends if we fill up the board or not, obviously. So numbers will be assigned randomly. Those will be drawn when the board fills up or at game time. All you got to do is send $10 to me via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, whatever works for you. $10, just include your name, and we'll get you entered in there. We did have a recruiting update I wanted to let you guys know about. Not a huge earth-shattering commitment, but offensive lineman Gabe Van Sickle flipped from Northwestern to Ohio State yesterday. And he, 6'5", 300 pounds. He's from Michigan. He's a 3-star. That gives us 4 O-linemen in the class. So he visited over the October 21st weekend and then took his official on November 11th. So made his commitment. Not a lot his coach had to say. His coach did have some things to say about him. His high school coach, he said, I believe Gabe has had a lot of growth headed into his senior year. The most impressive was Gabe's ability to finish blocks. The improvements are a result of his hard work and emphasis on trying to get better every day. The more impressive part is how he has handled the recruiting process and what kind of teammate he is. We're all very proud of Gabe's maturity and how he carries himself. So Gabe is kind of a replacement for Mark Nave. They're both, I think you could say, kind of project guys. Mark Nave from Toledo has since committed to Kentucky. So Van Sickle, similar, a 3-star, going to take some time to develop him, get his body right, and then get him into game shape and just developed into the position, really. So still don't know about Jordan Seaton. So if we don't get him on campus, obviously that's probably a no-go. I think he has a visit to Tennessee this week, but we got Ian Moore. He's the former 5-star out of Indiana. Then you got the Armstrong twins. Now you got Van Sickle. So we'll see what happens with Seaton. I would not hold my breath on Jordan Seaton as of right now. So we'll see if he actually gets to campus. And he's got like less than a month to decide. So that's why I don't really hold out much hope for Seaton. He's really enjoyed the recruiting process, and he's been around visiting everywhere he possibly could. And this is a huge NIL situation. So not that we're not competitive in the NIL, but maybe not competitive enough in this case. So yeah, that's probably the end of the O-line recruiting, I would imagine. But so anyways, let's get back to the game. So let me set it up a little bit, maybe get your wheels turning, see where maybe you guys are thinking, maybe give you a little direction. So obviously the winner of tomorrow's game wins the Big Ten East. So Michigan would, if they won, they would have another banner to put up. It says Big Ten East champs. Anyways, then you secure a berth in the Big Ten championship game, and then you're obviously in the 14 college football playoff. This is only the 5th time in history that both teams have entered the game with undefeated records. Seems like it would happen more often, but no, Michigan. Yeah, remember, Michigan is just now a top 5 team just in the last 2 years. You know, they had a long stretch where they were not winning 10 plus games a year. And also for those mouth breathers that have the memory of a goldfish, over 19 years, from 2001 to 2019, the Buckeyes went 17-2. This is a reminder for you Michigan fans. Yeah, we beat that ass regularly. It wasn't even a rivalry before. Buckeyes have lost back-to-back games, obviously, for the first time since 1995 through 97. You got the 45-23 loss last year, and then the 42-27 loss in 2021. But right now, these are 2 of the best teams in college football. They're the only 2 teams in the country that have held opponents to an average of under 10 points per game. Michigan leads all college football with allowing 9 points per game on average. The Buckeyes are at 9.3, right behind them. The Buckeyes, though, lead the nation in yards per play, 3.99, while Michigan leads the nation in yards allowed per game, 934.8. So the Buckeyes also lead the country in passing yards allowed per attempt at 4.7 and per game. Yards passing per game, 144.3. Michigan's been really good against the run, better against the run than us, ranking 9th in yards per carry allowed, 2.96, and 90 yards per game. So Buckeyes are 21st in both of those categories, just for comparison's sake. So in like a simplified analysis, you might say this is all setting up to be a low scoring slugfest, right? I'm kind of leaning that way just to give you kind of to tip my hand on my score prediction, but just checking shit. Hold up. Neither team scored more than 24 points versus ranked teams this year. Buckeyes beat Notre Dame 17-14 and Penn State 20-12. Michigan just recently beat Penn State 24-15. So against ranked teams, both teams are playing tight and playing good defense, but not putting up monster offensive numbers. Ohio State's defense has been dominant all year, not allowing more than 17 points in any game. And that was, what was that game? I forget. Anyways, so that's where my head's at as far as, this kind of being a low-scoring slugfest, but every time we say that, it goes the other way, at least in my predictions. Obviously, some bullet points. Got Sharon Moore serving as the Michigan acting head coach. Harbaugh, who knows where he's going to be watching the game. I think their team facility is near the stadium, so he'll probably just be right there at their facility watching the game, and then players will see him afterwards. What else? Buckeyes are an underdog still. I saw that the spread went back up to 3.5. It was down to 3 yesterday. Over under, I believe, was a 46.5. Last I checked. Yeah, 46.5. So you got a couple, they have 8 players from Ohio on this Michigan team. Oh, you got to keep that in mind. Starters, AJ Barner, the tight ends from Aurora, Ohio. Free safety Rod Moore is from Clayton Northmont High School. And Ohio State's roster just has 3 players from Michigan. Cam Martinez, the backup safety, and the walk-on brothers, Caden and Kai Saunders. So, like we always say, and it's been said for decades, Michigan football would not be anything without the state of Ohio. No news there, right? So let me pop in the chat and see what's going on, see where you guys are thinking. What kind of score you're thinking? Slugfest, offensive shootout, Tyler is the first one in. What's up, Tyler? IOTU. Odysseus says, win this one for the great state of Ohio. That's right. Odysseus also says, F those cheaters, don't give a damn for that Canadian province. Exactly. Jeremiah, what's up, Jeremiah? Says, OHIO, let's go, Buckeyes. Let's do this. Get this done. Beat Michigan. Odysseus says they'll try to pass early to catch us off guard, so hopefully Jack and JT wreck their tackles. I think that's going to be a very favorable matchup for the Buckeyes, is wrecking those tackles, Jack and JT. Here. We'll see my glasses. 1 second, let me turn this down. Yep. Better. Oh, nobody see me? I didn't know you guys couldn't see me. Oops. Anyways, back at it. Let's see. Odysseus says, if we get pressure, watch them try the 8 lineman formation. Yeah. I am somewhat concerned about that, but they're not going to run that all day. I think Ohio State will bring in, I don't know if they'll go to a 5th D lineman, but they'll definitely have 3 or 4 linebackers in, Randy's Beard, what's up? RDB. RDB says, happy Friday, guys. Hope everyone had an awesome Thanksgiving. Go Bucks. Yes, sir. Odysseus says 2 years in a row is surprising considering 06 was the last time 2 undefeated in the game. I know. It is surprising. But that's just because Michigan has not been keeping up their end of the bargain, right? Pam says, seen Kyle walking to get on the bus to leave to go to Michigan. Looked like he might have been limping a little. I'm feeling nervous now. Hey, don't say that. Oh, Pam. Now I'm nervous. Pam says, hope Devin's ready to go just in case. Maybe let's just hope that Kyle was playing up for the cameras. I think Devin is ready to go. I'm not sure he's 100% either. He's got a bad ankle. But which one's worse is the question. Odysseus says, slugfest through 3 quarters. We pull away in the 4th. I like that. RDB says, I had 28-17 Ohio State. I just think JJ with a bum ankle and their offensive line performing the way it is. Moore hasn't called their normal game. I think Jim being gone hurts them in the plan. Okay. He goes on, Ohio State has tasted their blood for 2 straight years. I just don't see it being a third. That's kind of where I'm at too. I don't see Ohio State losing 3 years in a row. Again, we have the talent advantage by a long shot. Coaching maybe equal. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, I just on losing 3 in a row, I can't see that either. I think Ryan Day's confident. I think he's going to be loose. I think you're going to see aggression from Ryan Day. I think he knows what it takes to win these tough games. It's going to be a battle, no doubt. Every snap is going to matter. I think it's going to be a 1-score game. I got 20-13, I believe. Going back to my Sunday score. Yes, I had 2013. Sean had 27-20, and Jeff has 23-16. For our microscopes, Sean had on offense Kyle, and on defense he had everybody. Way to whittle it down there, Sean. Jeff had Donovan Jackson on offense, so picked out a random O lineman. Take it. And then Tommy on defense. I agree with that. Tommy is going to be necessary in so many ways, not just making plays himself, but getting everybody lined up, being that quarterback of the defense, making sure everybody's got their assignments on every given snap. And then he has to actually go and play football and make tackles, fit the proper run gaps, make sure everybody else is fitting their proper run gaps. And he's going to probably lead the team in tackles tomorrow. He's going to have at least a dozen, I'm guessing. Because this Michigan team runs the ball 60% of the time, So I had on offense, I have Trey on my microscope and Tyleek on my defensive microscope. So those seem like pretty strong microscopes, in my opinion. I feel good about them. Checking on the chat here. Oh, we're racking them up. Odysseus says, does Ryan let Fat Albert have it post game? Fat Albert, nice. No, I think he just blows right by him. Quick handshake, kind of like that Ryan Walters guy did to Harbaugh for Purdue. Just a quick in and out. Not hanging out and trying to start a conversation. RDB says Ryan Day versus Moore. If we get Georgia Ryan Day where he lets it fly, good luck, Sharon. He's the offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, and the head coach. Good luck juggling that. Yeah, that's my point is who's working on the refs? Like, if he's over there working with the O-line back behind the bench, where's everybody else? Oh, I think we got Jeff trying to get in. All right. Let me pop in my headphones. One second, Jeff. Okay, just joining. He's going to bring some spice, I'm sure. I got to connect my headphones. All right. Jeff, are you there? I'm not picking you up. Headphones are working. Let's see if he can iron out the audio issues. I'm going to continue in the chat, Jeff. Just pop in when you're ready. So yeah, RDB said Ryan Day versus Moore. That was kind of my point. Like, you got to have, somebody watching the game, calling timeouts. What if the defense is on the field? He's back there with the O-line screwing around, giving them instructions, and nobody's talking to the refs to call timeouts. Or, I know that the defensive coordinator probably has the authority to call a timeout if he needs to, but you don't want your DC just randomly using timeouts, when you only get 3 per half. Doug Shepard, what's up, Doug? Doug says, I don't think any team in the country can beat us when we have all of our weapons at the same time. That's what I'm thinking too. Everybody is healthy for the most part. Oh, Jeff dropped out. Keep an eye out. Everybody's healthy. I mean, we do have, Mayan out, Lathan Ransom, but this is a much better team health-wise for the Buckeyes than we had last year. Remember how many dudes were out or were playing hurt? Yeah, it was not a good situation. We were down to Chip and Dallin as our running backs. DBs were all dinged up. Cam Brown, Kang, what's up, Kang? Kang says, go Buckeyes. Yes. Odysseus says, Day needs to use our speed advantage. Don't play their phone booth game. Oh, yeah. Especially on offense. You can't really dictate what they're going to do on offense. But when we're on offense, definitely spread the ball around. Kyle just has to be a distributor, game manager. I don't care what you call it. As long as he is getting the ball into the playmaker's hands accurately and on time, this is easy. This is a layup, in my opinion. Not a blowout, but it should be an easy win. Yeah, RDB echoing what I said. Yeah, Ohio State is a lot more healthy this time. Pam says, that's what I was thinking you might have been doing too. Oh, Kyle, the ankle. Yeah, I hope so. Odysseus, I agree with you there. This is a good game for Sonny to come in, and he's going to be down there in the box on every snap. If it's a pass play, he's going to be covering a tight end. If not, he's going to be hammering whatever hole is open. He's going to have run fit responsibilities. So, Sonny's going to have a big day. Hopefully, he can maybe get a couple forced fumbles. You notice Blake Corum last 2 weeks has been coughing that ball up quite a bit. That's probably not a good sign. You run him 25 times and 28 times back to back. That can't be good. And I think that's going to cause some fumble issues, Guy's getting crushed every time. He's only like fucking 5'8", I know he's rocked up, he's a big dude, but I'm noticing those fumble issues the last 2 weeks. Matthew Miller, what's up, Matthew? Let's send it, Day. Screw scum. We need this win to send bum-ass fan base to oblivion. Exactly. I don't even think Harbaugh is going to be coaching the team next year. Honestly, I think he goes to the NFL. Jay Glazer, the NFL guys, just said yesterday that NFL teams don't care about his, NCAA infractions or anything like that. So, why would they? And there's going to be a ton of jobs open. So, yeah. I don't know why I went that direction, but RDB says you also have to take into effect the last 2 or 3 weeks. One team is trending up and the other is trending down. I like our chances this year. I agree. Yep. Michigan thought they were done in the second half or in the second quarter last week, and Maryland had other plans. Kang says we need to attack their offense first, too. Set up our offense. Special teams are a very important key to this game. Yep. Yeah, that was one of my keys to the victory on this morning's Daily Blitz I released. Field position, man. You gotta be able to, if you're stuck down in your own, deep in your own end, you gotta be able to get a couple first downs, get the hell out of there and boot it away. You know, if you can't sustain a drive, it's really hard to go 90 yards, especially against a good defense like Michigan. So you're going to have to get a few first downs if you can, and then just boot it away, pin them deep, and flip the field on them, play that field position game. Yeah, Odysseus, I think Sonny's going to be moving around a lot. You'll see some different responsibilities for him. And you got Proctor back there. You could probably see Proctor come up and cover a tight end if they send Sonny on a blitz, if it's a pass play. Other than that, Sonny's going to be key, I mean, huge in run support. He's got to come up and smack somebody. RDB says Ohio State gets out in front of them by a couple scores. They ain't going to be able to run the ball 40 times to win. And I don't think JJ can beat Ohio State with his arm the way he's been playing. Yeah. And it seems like they've kind of been talking about his ankle or knee. He's got a leg issue that I think is going to prevent him from, scampering all over the field like he did previously, like last year. I think he's been dealing with a lower leg injury for the last few weeks. Saw him get rolled up on, saw him tweak that ankle a while back, and he's still not 100%. So I don't think he's the run threat that he has been in the past. Odysseus says, if I'm Ryan Day, I take the ball if we win the toss. Yeah, I agree. You're going to get limited possessions in this game, man. Michigan is going to pull that same crap that all of our opponents have all season long. Bleed that clock down under 10 seconds, then snap the ball, run it, bleed the clock down, rinse and repeat. They're going to try and limit the number of possessions, take it into the fourth quarter, and they want it to be a close game in the fourth. And they think they're going to overcome and win in the fourth. So we gotta beat them to it. That's why I agree with you. Take the ball first. Exactly. Big Dell, what's up, Big Dell? I owe to you, sir. Big Dell says, Ryan just had to open the playbook. We have the talent. Exactly. Like I said today, on the Daily Blitz, my last key to victory is execution. Just execute. We have the tools. We have the talent. We have one of the best offensive play callers in the game, if not the best. And just the players have to execute. That's what's really caused us to lose the last 2 years, especially last year. Defense did not execute. Guys got toasted, fell down, whatever. We got the tools. We got the talent. Just have to go out there and move the pieces, move the chess pieces. So it's doable. This is, I think I'm feeling more confident than ever. The closer we get to game time, I'm feeling really good about it. I just wish Harbaugh was on that sideline for them. I really do. Odysseus says Blake Corum is more like 5'5". He might be, yeah. Maybe he's got those Bryce Young lifts in his shoes, Odysseus says Glazer works for Fox Sports, who's all pro hairball. Yeah, not surprised. But he does seem to have good info as far as the pro game goes. I would think he used to when I used to watch the NFL. Jeremiah says the Buckeyes are locked in, loaded up, and to unload and unleash hell. Let's go, Ohio. Yes, sir. Billy says we're going to do it. What's up, Billy? Good to hear from you. Odysseus says punt return and kick return can't screw up and put us in poor field position. Exactly. Yep. That's like a turnover. If you get pinned deep and you end up punting out of your own end zone, that's like a freaking turnover because they're going to get the ball at midfield most likely. Billy says, wouldn't be surprised if JJ is healthier than we think. All right, maybe. I don't know. Even their beat reporters for Michigan are reporting that his leg's not 100%. I don't know what they know. They seem to be kind of coy about it, but they probably are taking their marching orders from the Michigan administration. Oh, sorry. Jeff's in there. Okay, Jeff's rejoining here. Let's see if we can get his audio back up. Don't forget, folks, jump in the squares board. I'll give you a total number. I think we got about 10, 15 left, something like that. So let's see if Jeff's there now. Jeff?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
There he is. All right. He's back.
Yeah, trying to get in, but I'm out in the field, so connection's bad. But how's it going out there?
Oh, we got some confident Buckeye fans in the chat. A lot of different, we're trying to get like just final thoughts of how the game is going to go. You know, is the Buckeye offense versus the Michigan defense, you know, who kind of comes out ahead there, and vice versa, the Michigan offense against the Buckeye defense, and how people see the game going. A lot of talk about Sonny Styles on defense. I agree with 100%. And just more stuff like that. Odysseus says that Blake Corum is probably 5'5".
Yeah, a little sawed off cocksucker.
Yeah.
He can't deny how tough he is, though. I mean, he is a tough runner.
Right. He has had a fumble each of the last two games, though. And I think that's what happens when you run him 25 and 28 times back to back.
Especially when your quarterback's struggling and you got to lean on that run game. Yeah, these running backs aren't, they're not made the way that running backs were in the past. Turnovers are going to be a big tell sign in this game for sure. Who makes the mistakes and who can capitalize on them.
Right. Yeah. Billy is speculating that JJ may be healthier than we think. Have you heard anything there?
No. From the Michigan people that I've heard and been around, they think he's injured more than they're being told. So
the other way.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. With college football, the way they don't have to report injuries or even comment on them at all.
Right.
We don't know. I mean, we just go off of what we see on film. Like when we see Kyle, hopping around with that big cast on his ankle, we just assume that he's got a sprained ankle and he's fighting through it. I haven't paid that close of attention to the Michigan games to notice what would be ailing him. So I really can't comment on that at all. I've not heard any Michigan people. I was actually scrolling through some of their message boards late last night. I didn't hear any talk of his health at all.
All right.
A lot of stuff involving Ryan Day, though, with Catapult, whatever that is.
Yeah, and PI firms based out of New Hampshire.
Yeah, immediately started seeing so many. I started seeing that stuff on Twitter, so I'm like, okay, let me go to the official, the official insiders. I went to 11 Warriors, checked out Off War. Nobody had any comments about any of that going on from the Ohio State side, even a response really. So right. I took that for what it's worth and just kept it moving. I figured I'd be hearing it on sports radio today if there was any smoke really. But
yeah,
I was put me in a frenzy last night about 11:30, wondering what was going on.
Yeah, it's a lot of smoke. They're just throwing shit against the wall, see what sticks. Nothing sticks, like Odysseus says here in the chat, the scum media has been wrong about everything. Yeah, everybody on the Michigan message boards, they go to the Ohio State boards if they want accurate info.
Yeah, and they even admitted as much. And I saw a lot of them turning on each other.
Yeah.
Scum on scum crime, which I'm always there for. I'm always here for that.
Sure. It's a gift that keeps on giving. like Jelly of the Month Club subscription. Right?
Yeah.
I think Catapult is actually what they call JJ's arm.
Slingshot. It's a film. It's a game film setup, right? And
they're like a company that, I don't know, handles film like I don't know.
So yeah, all I could say was they said Ryan Day had insiders there that he was getting more film than he was allowed to get, or advanced film. Come on, he was doing it. It sounds like the way the rule is, you gotta get the game film. You can't go to the games and electronically record it with your cell phone.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's probably
it's just faster to do it with the cell phone, Jeff.
Yeah. It's probably just a bunch of those Michigan people that are really feeling it and trying to any last efforts to drum up, maybe just get in our heads, or the team's heads, get it in the news where Ryan Day hears about it and then he gets it in his head, like a distraction. But yeah, we'll wait till after the season to figure out if there's any truth to any of that shit. So we just need to focus on the game.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to get back to the game in 1 sec. I just have one quick question, because I also talked about it with the chat earlier. I said that I think Harbaugh goes to the NFL after this year, with all the penalties that are going to be coming down from the NCAA and the plethora of jobs in the NFL that will be available. What do you think?
Yes,
Jay Glazer. I'm sorry. Did you hear the report from Jay Glazer yesterday? He said something to the effect of NFL administration and NFL teams don't really care about the NCAA infractions and all that. Which, why would they, right?
Right. I definitely believe that. Because the NFL is just a different beast. There's no, the system in general is better. So especially with the headsets and in the helmets. So I totally believe that. I thought back when they were investigating the fucking hamburger deal, or whatever the recruiting violations, I figured from that point before the season started that he was leaving anyways. He's been trying to leave for 2 years. That's been documented truthfully. Meeting with the Vikings, I think, on signing day. If that doesn't tell you that he's looking to bounce, you're an idiot, or you're just dense and can't see it. It's a textbook. Pete Carroll did it. USC, he knew shit was coming. You're getting investigated by 4 different branches of organizations and multiple issues on. Yeah, they want to get their title and they'll worry about claiming it later when it gets washed away. But he wants to get through the season, try to win a title, and bounce. Michigan insiders or Michigan reporters from Detroit and stuff, they're saying the same thing. So, and they're obviously more clued in than we are. So yes, I don't think he's back in Michigan. Whether he gets a job in the NFL, I think he'll definitely try. But I definitely would put money that he's not coaching Michigan next season.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Tyrone says, I want Don Brown as Michigan's next head coach. Isn't he coaching at like UMass or UConn? One of those crappy
one of those teams. 130th ranked schools in like the bottom of Division I. Yeah. I'm not sure somewhere up there, somewhere up northeast. Yeah. He's from that area too. I think he's from that northeast area. So, but that would be great. We'll just run crossing routes all day long. Every team will. For 12 straight weeks of crossing routes on Don Brown.
No shit. Oh man. So what do you think? Let's get back to the game here and
definitely
see how you feel it goes. Do you think it's a tight slugfest that goes into the fourth quarter, kind of close, and then one team pulls away? How do you see it going?
Well, I've been kind of off the last couple of years as far as the game going the way I was kind of seeing it go. Yeah, I really can't see a blowout either way. And if there was a blowout, meaning over 2 touchdowns, 2 to 3 touchdowns, I would only think that we would be able to do that to them. I don't think, but at the same breath, I thought I was really confident last year. I did not think that they could have, I didn't think they would have had enough to beat us by 2 or 3 touchdowns last year. So I think it's more of I think it's more of a feeling out, early, try to establish the run game on both sides, both teams. So I would take the first half unders. I would be looking at that for sure. And I think was 46.5 is the total for the game. If you looked at my score prediction from Sunday night, I'm picking the under there.
Okay. Yeah, I was just I read off the scores earlier because the spread hasn't changed much. It's actually gone. It was at 3 yesterday, back to 3.5 now, and just a half point difference from when we made our predictions. You had 23-16. Sean had 27-20. I got 20-13.
Yeah, I think the game 23-16. That's not even a high score that where one team gets up big and then another team charges back. I think it is kind of a play here, play there. A turnover, a costly penalty. Just little things that are gonna add to drives or end a drive. And that game's I think it's gonna stay close. This game's got so much emotion, and you can't expect all of these 18 to 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds to all handle their emotions. We just have to do better than they do. So yeah, I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be a fight. I mean, main reason because of our O-line. They've been better, but this is by far the best O-line, the best D-line that they're gonna play. And Michigan's, as much as I fucking hate them, they're a solid defense. Their interior D-line, our interior O-line, they've been kind of Jekyll and Hyde. We went through the grades every week, and maybe the run scores or the run grades are real high one week, but the passing, is down, or vice versa. So, which performance are we going to get from our O-line? And they've not given us a really great reason to be 100% confident and being able to, have high 70s, 80s run blocking grades. So, right. So yeah, that's the only thing. That's the really thing. Is the nervousness on my end of what I've been thinking about since last night, all day today. Us being able to handle their interior D line and getting those creases for Trey.
Okay. What do you think about deep shots? Think you see many deep shots from Kyle and the offense? I think
I'm hoping that Ryan Day and Hartline, if they're given the defense that is the look that we want, that we try to take them. Yes. Michigan might come up. They might come out with like a 2 deep shell like Rutgers was doing, and they're just saying you're not throwing deep. See if you can run on our D line. So I mean, I don't say not throwing deep for the sake of just throwing deep, but if we get the looks we want, there should be. I'm hoping that there's automatic checks to right. Marv out one-on-one, no safety help, check to that and test them. I give Marv 12 targets. If you're getting those single coverage looks, I don't expect a lot of those. But if you get the looks, we need to just check, automatic check to that. He's the best player in college football. We should, if we're going to go down to these assholes, let's go down trying to give the ball to our best players, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm with you. If they start, like Minnesota did, where safety is sprinting over to cover Marv every snap, then you got to have a check where Marv maybe runs an underneath route, where safety doesn't have an effect on him.
And it looks like our other weapons are healthy. So, test, run over down the seam, get a Mecca doing his thing, crossing routes, whatever. Make them guard all of our athletes, and they're definitely mindful of Trey Henderson and what he's been doing these last 3, 4, 5 weeks since the Penn State game. He's made the difference maker, I think, in their game plan against us, because you can't just throw 2 guys on Marv every play and only have 6 or 7 in the box, because then we should be able to run more. And I know we're going to try to run for sure.
exactly. Yeah, Trey is going to be key. He's one of the playmakers that has to touch the ball a lot, not just in the run game. And we need to run him. Get those edges. That's where he's most successful and can hit those home runs. But also, those little dump off passes right over the line of scrimmage. If say they're running a zone and linebackers have kind of bailed, they're giving up a lot of space underneath. Get Trey in some space, 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, right over the middle. That's a nightmare scenario for them.
It's worked. It's every game we've been able to do that or look for him in that situation. It works. Get Trey in the open field. With healthy Trey, we've seen it. Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan State. I mean, we've seen it. So. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I was reading some over-unders just on personal stats. His receiving yards are like 14.5. Take the over on that for sure. I even like the over on his 83.5 or 83 yards rushing. I take the over on both of those.
I actually did take the Travion rushing, and what was the other one? Receiving. I was just going through those earlier. I don't have receiving yards for Trey on Bet Online. What's that? I just got Cade, Marv, and a Mecca, and then of course the Michigan wide receivers and stuff. But yeah, I'm not seeing wide receiver or receiving yards for Trey here.
They're not going to.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
There, you're back. There.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm dealing with poor coverage, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I think it's I maybe I misheard it, but I think it was around 14, and that seemed like a easy take the over on.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they even put that out. Whatever book put that out.
Yeah, and our receivers are great. Our receivers are some of our great blockers. As far as if we get the running back to the edge, our receivers do a better job than I think most teams in the country. So taking away their interior line and those interior trap runs and off power lead runs, but yeah, let's test the edges. Because our receivers spring a lot of that big 75-yard run, but from his great blocks from Marv and Fleming, on the edges. So you utilize it. Make their corners. Yep. What?
How many deep shots you think they take though?
Deep? You mean like say like
5 seems like a lot, doesn't it?
I mean air travel over 15 yards or 20 yards? Is that what you're saying?
Over 20, yeah.
Over 20 in the yeah, I'd say 5. 5 might be a good number. Because I'm honestly, I don't think we're going to get too many of those looks, but I'm just guessing that Michigan's going to try to take away Marvin, and then make everyone else beat us. So I think there's going to be a lot more catch and runs than there will be big plays. But if sneaking Fleming or somebody on a backside post, Marv going like a 15-yard back in. And then try and sneak Fleming in behind him, get that safety to come up to Marv. If we, hopefully, the play calling and Ryan Day's aggressiveness shows in situations like that, and Kyle to pull the trigger. If if it's one-on-one down the field, fucking chuck it up, man. The way interference is called these days, test them. If we get that one-on-one, I'll be happy with going one-on-one, our receivers against any of their DBs. And if they outplay us for the ball every time, and that's how we go down, lose, then I'll live with that. I just don't think they can consistently win those one-on-one battles. I think our guys are better.
Yeah, if you remember the Peach Bowl against Georgia, Fleming actually had some big plays in the passing game because they were so focused on Marv, especially in the second half.
Xavier Johnson always makes a key play or two in these big games. He gets he kind of gets lost and forgotten in that offense, just like Fleming does. But they all have the capability. So, run blocking interior and McCord making decisions and trusting the arm. Those are the two biggest, big things.
We have the almost unlimited arsenal of weapons on offense. It's just a matter of Kyle distributing the ball, and executing. Really, it just comes down to executing and, getting the right guy the ball, getting somebody the ball in space. I mean, that seems to be a winning recipe. So it's just a matter of Kyle doing that. And also in the run game, of course, you got to execute up front.
Yeah. And they're going to, just because like most of the teams that have played us, the lesser teams, they try to, they're huddling up, they're running the ball. They want to keep the ball away from us. That's Michigan's offense. So it's going to be that same thing. Are we going to be able to get stops enough to have more than 50 plays of offense? How Ryan Day it complains like, well, we're not getting as many plays, so that bend don't break defense, don't bend too much to keep our offense off the field, because Michigan's they're gonna run the ball. We're gonna have to stop that run, and those big plays, like last year, just not giving up 4 of their touchdowns on 8 total plays. I heard that again today. It made me cringe. Those 4 touchdowns, a total one. A lot of those drives were 1 play 75 yards, 2 plays 68 yards. They had one drive over 8 plays, I think, in that whole game. When JJ's run in for the touchdown, I think. So, we got to make sure we get stops enough to be able to utilize all of our weapons, because we have more than they have. It's just a matter of getting the chance to use them all.
Right. So on defensive side of the ball, a lot of people in the chat are talking about Denzel Burke. He seems confident, and he's had a great year, obviously. So what do you think, just going around the defense, if you want to go position group by position group? Obviously, stopping the run is key. That's probably your priority one, right? And then, force JJ to beat you with his arm. So what do you think? Starts up front?
Yeah, I mean, being able to get pressure with our 4, obviously, with also keeping contain on JJ, because if his legs are good and he's healthy, we can't let him get out of the pocket, because that's how a lot of those plays were made last year. And we have a guy that falls, a guy stumbles and the tight end gets behind him. Like oddball shit. I can't imagine that there's that many. Our defense is way more prepared and better this year with the system to not have those breakdowns, repeatedly breakdowns. And missing tackles on the perimeter. So I mean, I love. I think our interior is going to be key. With healthy Mike Hall, Ty Hamilton rotating in there, maybe Hero Kanu starting to emerge, and obviously Big Tyleek. We need to not give those big holes and Corum and Edwards, getting to the second level untouched, 5-6 yards down the field. Tommy's going to be super aggressive. Steele and Simon. I think we're going to see a lot of, probably an even share of both of them, especially when they go to their big run packages, their heavy packages. So I mean it starts there. It's obviously, when you're talking about controlling the run game and it's the number one priority, your front 4, it starts right there. But also I like Sonny Styles on their tight ends. They got some big targets. The one guy, I forget his name, the guy that caught the long one last year.
Loveland.
Loveland. Big guy, like a Mike Gesicki type. I like Sonny Styles on that matchup better than I did last year, Lathan Ransom. And our corner, I mean, with Jordan Hancock, that makes the whole difference. He's a big play guy, better skill than what we had in that position last year. And he makes a big difference. Their receivers are not better than our corners. I like all 3 of our corners in the matchup with those guys. Just not blowing assignments. I think that's really the only way those big plays will happen this year.
Exactly.
And we haven't seen our guys break down in communication and that kind of stuff yet this year.
Right. Yep. Just don't fall down, man.
Yeah, and Cam Brown, he missed that tackle on what's his fucking name? Just on the perimeter, you can't just whiff on a tackle.
Right.
And we're always going to have a safety deep too. We're not going to be in a lot of those situations where there's nobody deep after 10 yards in the whole middle of the field. I can't imagine. I think we learned our lesson, from that.
Yeah. I think Sonny's going to be huge in run support because he's going to be down there in the box, playing the bandit role for Lathan. So I think he's going to be huge in run support. He's got to come up. He's going to have to smack Corum occasionally in the hole, meet him at the line of scrimmage and better take him down,
Yeah.
This 5'5" ass.
Yeah. He runs hard. And I think Edwards is more explosive.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, when we played, we had a great defense in high school, and it was the preach to us. It was 7 men to the football every play, at least 7, around the tackle every play. And that's what we need. That's what you have to have on a team that's gonna they want to punish you and they want to prove to you that they can just run on you. That's a fucking pride thing, man. You got to be wanting to get in there and stop that. And I think we have more guys on our defense this year built for that and ready for that. Igby Nosen does not mind getting up and getting there and hitting. Hancock will make plays up there. Denzel will even.
My one concern in the secondary.
Coverage wise, maybe. But I think
he's
a physical run support.
Yeah, and run support, sure, because he is so physical. But they go after him, opposing quarterbacks too.
Yeah. What are you gonna do though? He's our best option out there. I love Hancock where he's at in the slot. And their best receiver is the slot receiver, in my opinion. So their weapon, and plus the tight end, work in the middle. So Sonny and Jordan, trading off depending on lineups and stuff like that. I like our matchup. But yeah, IGB he'll get tested, sure. JJ will probably they're gonna try some deep balls as well. As long as we get our fucking head turned around so we can play the ball and not just grabbing and putting our hands and getting interference calls. So we're good. He'll get tested, but I feel more confident with him this year than I did with Cam Brown last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Cam was playing injured too. So
that's part of it. And we just knew he wasn't. Yeah, we knew he wasn't healthy. He also lost his cool last year and got a penalty, and so I think we're more prepared and more focused maybe this time.
Right.
Hopefully that results in no stupid penalties or getting late flags and extending their drives.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about the field position battle, how key that is. I touched on it on this morning's Daily Blitz, and you can't have obviously you can't have any blunders on special teams that give Michigan a short field or whatever, and then if you're deep in your own zone with the ball and you need to flip the field, you're going to have to convert some first downs. I don't expect to go 90 yards on Michigan's defense, but you need to get 3 first downs and then pin them deep in their own end zone or their own half of the field.
It worked for Tressel. He was very successful against Michigan and just playing that smart football. But also even if we're on our own 5 and we have that look, like I was saying earlier, with that matchup with Marv, test it deep. Don't make it the predictable 3rd and 7. Right. But maybe get off of that first down, power run. Take some shots if you have the look that you need, or if you like. I like Marvin just about any matchup, but not when he's got 2 guys running with him. But yeah, but take those shots at any point in the field. And McCord's got to have that quick, that clock in his head, because we don't know how we're going to hold up against their pass rush too. So he's got to be quick with it. There's not going to be a lot of big 5, 7-step drops. Get those, but you can throw those fades and those back shoulders. They don't take too long to develop with Marv.
Yeah, and maybe you come away with your own pass interference call if the play isn't completed.
Yeah, we need to test their corners. We need really give them a good test. They haven't faced any receivers this year. I don't think the likes of any of our 3 starters. Maybe even Carnell and Xavier. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I think Sanders still is actually their best corner in the slot. Will Johnson's good, but
yeah. And Sanders still makes the
other
plays.
guy, Wallace,
he's
I
a
think
playmaker, kind of like Hancock. Yeah.
Yeah. The second corner, I think his name's Wallace. It's not that good, in my opinion. But if you're throwing the ball and Sanders still's in coverage, you better be precise because he's going to get his hands on it. He leads the Big Ten in picks. Plus, he has a few PBUs to tack on to that. So he's going after the ball.
Oh, for sure. Double moves and stuff like that. Maybe he might be susceptible to, trying to get them to make a mistake to get a big play. McCord, I think when he has time and he's planting his feet, he will deliver the ball where it needs to be. But it's all about him getting not getting rattled and also being able to give him enough time for some of those routes that take a little longer to develop. Those deep drag routes across, shallow crossings are a little quicker, but sometimes we have a guy shallow across going left to right, and then we have a deeper guy going across opposite way, right to left. Those plays take the rub routes and stuff. They take a little bit more time to develop. So, Kim McCord needs to have that clock in his head too. That for ball protection and everything, no strip sacks, just getting rid of the ball early and chucking it out of bounds, being smart with it.
Exactly. Yeah. Clean and consistent, Kyle, and yeah, I agree. Hey, folks, before you get out the door, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to get in our squares board for the game, we got 25 squares total. I think we've got about 15 left. So jump in.
Oh, wow.
The more people that play, the more you can win. So instructions are in the description of the video, or if you're listening on podcast, the instructions are in the description of the podcast. You probably, if you're watching on video right now, you see the flyout on the right side of the screen on where to send your money, and all that's in the show notes and descriptions and all that too. So Jeff, final thoughts.
Just fucking nervous, man. You know how it is. I'm gonna be at my best friend's house, who's a diehard Michigan fan, and his 17-year-old son. I almost checked him last year because he didn't, he wasn't being too cool with it, and but I just being nervous that we're gonna perform the way we expect them to. I was super confident last year. And we giving up the big plays. I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me, multiple times. It's just how are we going to handle the noise? I think I mean, what did we were predicting the record this year. We were predicting, a lot of us, maybe us with one loss, because we didn't know how McCord would be going into this game. But most of the general thoughts were undefeated because their schedule was shit. It's just nervous that we can, nervous that we can. Our guys perform good. Our O-line holds up. That's probably the biggest. That's number one. I have more confidence of us stopping their run. But just we got to get Trey. Trey's going to have to be a monster, I think. Okay. That'll open up everything else.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty confident, honestly. I the closer we're getting to the game, I'm feeling more confident. I haven't seen anything from this team to say that this situation is too big for them. After the win at Notre Dame at night, last minute drive, the walk-off touchdown to win, beating Penn State, even though that was in Columbus, a little bit easier, but that was still a really, really tough defense. I just haven't seen anything that tells me that Kyle and just the team in general are not ready to, you know, to win this game. I feel really confident.
I agree. I agree that it's not too the spot's not too big for us. I don't think these guys are going to be shook by the surroundings or the environment. It's just a matter of the talent, the one-on-one matchups, and that, you know, the RO line, and you know that those one-on-one matchups is that's where more of my my nervousness is, because this is by far the best overall team that we've played. We're by far the best overall team that they've played. So it's just talent equates. Who makes, you know, those 50-50 balls on offense and defense? Who comes down with those? Who doesn't make a stupid penalty? You know, like I said, so just nervous. I mean, I'm always nervous for this game. But you know, it'll be. I'm predicting the win. You know, I gave you the score, because I think we're gonna just have too much for them. I don't think they. I think we stop the run, and JJ will make mistakes. But they're counting on the same thing. Let's stop the run. Don't let Marv beat us, and let McCord turn the ball over. That's you know, their same thoughts. So
yeah,
you know,
I feel good if we can simply execute. I know it's easier said than done when you're going against a quality team. If we just simply execute both sides of the ball, every position, every man does his job, I don't see how we lose this game, honestly.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. That's 100%. Was it 20 straight years? I think the last 19 or 20 years, the team that's ran for more yards won the game.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't get much simpler than that. You know what I mean? And I think it's true this year as any other year. Even probably more so, because I thought last year, I don't care if we run the ball or not. I thought with CJ, we could, you know, we would just dice them up. So, but yeah, we need to. It's the running game. The running game, both sides, will probably be the tell. I don't expect a lot of turnovers, either side.
Right.
But I think it's, you know, who can run the ball better and open up their play action and other passing.
All right. So hopefully this time tomorrow we'll be all very happy Buckeye fans, right?
I'm gonna be shit-faced drunk, hopefully in a good mood. I'm usually a happy drunk, but I don't know. If it goes south like last year, with like the way it went, I'll be fit for a straight jacket, I'm sure.
Yeah, I just don't see us losing 3 years in a row.
That's the thing too. We have more talent, top to bottom, 1 through 85. We've had it, but we've had it for the last decade or 20 years. And us losing 3 in a row, that would just blow my fucking mind. Especially like what Urban said, you don't come to Ohio State and lose to an interim coach in this game.
That was Yoder. He fucking made that up.
Well, you don't. I mean, but you don't. I mean, it's right. I mean, John Moore, the O-line coach, the O coordinator, and the head coach. We can't let that slide. You know, So.
Yeah.
But the coaches aren't going to win the game. It's the players executing on the field. So if the players take a shit, then, you know, it doesn't matter what the coaches are going to do.
Exactly. All right, folks.
But I am fired up, man. This is the all timer. The vitriol, the hate. It's going to be intense. It's going to be super intense.
Yeah.
So
yeah, hopefully the players can
excited,
settle
you know?
in. Yeah, hopefully the players can settle in and not worry about outside, you know, forces and outside crap. You know, I would recommend keeping your helmet on at all times if you're a player. But
for sure.
But yeah, it's going to be a good one, and enjoy it. Hope everybody has a great day. Be safe out there if you're going to watch the game somewhere with friends or enemies, whatever. Be careful and be smart, and go Bucks.
Hell yeah, go Bucks.
All right, Jeff. Thanks for hopping on, and hopefully we'll be doing this next week too.
Yeah, hopefully.
And we'll be back.
We'll be in contact tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yeah. So join us Sunday night, folks. Win, lose, or draw. We will be live at 7:30. Forgot. We're kind of bumped up the time there. Hopefully we can all be online at 7:30, and hopefully you guys can join us, and we'll get shit-faced again. Right?
In a celebratory mood. That sounds like the plan, man.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Talk to you, bro.
All right. Talk to you folks later. Go Bucks.